And Tom, I don't know if I need to ask you for like a specific price target on Nvidia at this point, but that was the market leadership until this summer when it broke down. What do we need from it at this point?
Well, I mean, Nvidia is still at the center of the entire transformation that's coming with AI, and Nvidia continues to be one of the leading companies. So, from a long-term investor perspective, I think anyone should look at Nvidia's congestion and consolidation as opportunities to add if they don't have exposure. And then I think for anyone else, it's just a time to be patient because, of course, stocks don't just go straight up.
There are a couple stocks, however, moving higher. Nvidia is up about 3%. Yes, almost 3%. The company hosting a 3-day summit in Washington starting today. It's up 25% over the past month. That move has pushed its market cap back up above $3 trillion and passed Microsoft into second place behind just Apple.
The world of investing just got a jaw-dropping jolt with a headline that's setting the stock market abuzz. Nvidia, the Silicon Valley powerhouse, has briefly toppled the tech titan Apple in a spectacular display of market prowess. This rare shift in the stock hierarchy didn't just cause waves, it unleashed a tsunami in financial circles worldwide. For those paying close attention, beyond the initial astonishment lies an intricate story of AI revolution, strategic maneuvers, and a ferocious battle for dominance among tech giants. Hold on to your portfolios, because in a market where every tick counts, Nvidia's journey is nothing short of electrifying. Watch as Nvidia and Apple, among other tech behemoths, dance around dizzying valuations, each striving to stay ahead in a rapidly evolving landscape of artificial intelligence. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Investocracy.
In a week where we're poised for a lot of semiconductor news, whether it is Nvidia speaking down in D.C. or AMD with its event. Obviously, this update with Supermicro. I mean, is there still a trade to be had there? Are there still gains to be had in the sector?
I think, again, you're going to have to pick stocks. So I think with Nvidia, it's not going to surprise me to see that hit new all-time record highs before the end of the year. Because Blackwell, in a weird way, the fact that it's been delayed is good for them because nobody wants to get out of line and miss getting those chips because they're 2 to 3 times more powerful than the current generation of chips out there. So we like in what might seem counterintuitive, we like Nvidia actually through year end because of that. Now, I've been pretty open about saying I think there's going to be an AI digestion phase coming. I think it's going to happen in the first half of 2025. I think you're going to have a big problem when that occurs because you haven't seen revenues for the companies spending all of this money on AI go up. They've all gone down. What do I mean by that? Google, Microsoft, Amazon, 3 of the 4 biggest spenders on AI infrastructure, after they reported the June quarter, all of their forward revenue estimates went down. And that's why those stocks had some issues. So unless you see all this spending translate into revenues, you're going to get a digestion phase. And by the way, that happened after COVID. NVIDIA's revenues went from being up over 80% year over year to being down over 20% year over year as these same customers digested all of the COVID spend. So NVIDIA is kind of complicated, but in the short term, I think there's a good shot you see new record highs before the year is over.
NVIDIA's astonishing rise to momentarily claim the crown as the most valuable company in the world is a story that reads like a blockbuster thriller. With its market value touching an unprecedented $3.53 trillion, edging just a hair past Apple's $3.52 trillion, the semiconductor giant has fueled excitement and speculation. One might say it's like NVIDIA powered up from level 1 to boss mode in the gaming world it knows so well. The real catalyst here? NVIDIA's prowess in artificial intelligence chips. These high-performance chips are the engine driving the AI boom, essential for models like OpenAI's ChatGPT, which has captivated the digital frontier. NVIDIA's chips take center stage in this AI performance, and the demand is nothing short of extraordinary. Since its inception as a designer of video game processors, NVIDIA has transformed, playing a pivotal role in the broader tech cloudscape. Russ Mould, Bell PLC investment director, encapsulates the sentiment saying, "More companies are now embracing artificial intelligence in their everyday tasks, and demand remains strong for NVIDIA chips." Yet, what does the market tell us beyond the numerical dance? Analysts look toward the horizon and see NVIDIA shipping 55% more of its AI GPUs in 2025. TrendForce and Mizuho suggest that with the launch of Nvidia's next-gen Blackwell processors, the company could see these chips account for up to 80% of its AI GPU shipments. Adding to the optimism, Taiwan's Semiconductor Manufacturing Co., Nvidia's foundry partner, is doubling down on its production capabilities. An annual growth in its packaging capacity is on a tear, which allies perfectly with Nvidia's trajectory. But before we go any further, if you want to keep up with Nvidia's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates. Now, back to the video.
In meantime, shares of Nvidia up nearly 3% today for its fourth straight day of gains. It is now up more than 40% from its August 5th lows, less than 10% from its all-time high. The chipmaker kicking off its three-day AI summit this morning. Morgan Stanley reiterating the stock as an overweight rating. Guy?
I think it was a super micro move if you throw that one up. But, we've talked about this. I think Carter talked about it last week. You're in this pennant formation in Nvidia. It's going to break one way or the other. Today, it shows signs of breaking to the upside, but I still think this pennant is intact. The June 20th level, the formation that Tim sort of alluded to, I think the stock closed above 140 that day and reversed. That's interesting. It's not been broached yet. So the question is, which way does it break? Is it going to break to the upside out of this pennant or the downside? Today's action suggests the upside. We'll see, though. It's not there yet, Mel.
And in the case of Nvidia versus an Apple, I think you obviously have two stocks where I would stay with Carter, and I just don't think the expectations in Apple are that great. Nvidia, we know they're great. And so now we've dealt with some production issues. We've had the company come back and pretty much reassure fourth quarter demand, they're saying is going to be extremely strong. And I get back to the stock, and I get back to even some of the market dynamics that have made Nvidia an outperformer, in addition to those ones that are obviously Nvidia specific. I think the macro supports Nvidia. I think it supports the names where you have growth, and I think the market is less worried about that multiple here.
For the humor inclined, navigating these dizzyingly high stock valuations can feel like the roller coaster at your local amusement park. Only your seat here is lined with silicon, and the thrill isn't just gravity-defying drops, but soaring valuation peaks. With a price-to-earnings ratio of 58 at the current cut of analysis, and taking some flack for it, Nvidia can still justify it. Consider its PEG ratio dipping below 0.14, marking it undervalued relative to its potential growth. Understatement of the year, not bad for a semiconductor company that used to simply power graphics cards. No one can talk about Nvidia without mentioning Apple and its strategic pivots. While Nvidia's chips power up AI, Apple isn't standing still, integrating ChatGPT into its Siri assistant, carving strides into AI territory. Meanwhile, China remains a tough market for Apple, with tepid iPhone sales contrasted by a surge from Huawei. Yet, even amidst these shifting tectonic plates, Nvidia's narrative keeps captivating audiences. An astounding 740% jump in stock, inflating its market value by a whopping $3.1 trillion, says it all. But as Rick Meckler of Cherry Lane Investments LLC pondered, the question is whether the revenue stream will last for a long time and will be driven by the emotion of investors rather than by any ability to prove or disprove the thesis that AI is overdone. Looking to the future, the conversations are vibrant. Anticipating Nvidia's third quarter earnings, analysts are all eyes and ears. Why? Because an expected 82% revenue growth is not something you brush aside casually. For context, this isn't just beating a drum loudly, it's orchestrating a symphony in a dense competitive market with Nvidia leading the band. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
Nuclear is a wonderful way forward as one of the sources of energy, one of the sources of sustainable energy. It won't be the only one. We're going to need energy from all sources and balance the availability and the cost of energy as well as the sustainability over time.
Export controls are a big topic as we go into the November election, particularly when it comes to competition with China. Is Nvidia on track to make a China-safe Blackwell chip?
We haven't announced our future products yet, but the first thing we have to do is comply with whatever policies and regulations that are being imposed, supported fully, and meanwhile do the best we can to compete in the markets that we serve. We have a lot of customers there that depend on us, and we'll do our best to support them.
Do you think the U.S. should back off on China trade sanctions? Do you think the restrictions are effective?
Well, we have to defer all of the all of the policy making to the administration. They understand that the balancing national security versus the prosperity of American technology all over the world. We're exporting American technology, which is really terrific for the United States. That the world is built on Nvidia, on American standards. Nvidia is an American company, and our government and the administration would love to see us succeed. And so, finding the right balance is very difficult to do, but they're doing a wonderful job.
I'm curious, have you been in touch with either of the campaigns to counsel them on this technology?
No, my focus is to build our company, and I trust that they're going to do the best thing for our country. Thank you.
Great, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
The compelling case for Nvidia is difficult to ignore. While the stock presently pulses with exuberance and basks in its near-mythic market cap, it also stands as a beacon for potential heightened returns. Wall Street may throw shade with a trailing P/E ratio critique, but Nvidia's foresight in AI, unlike other contenders, has yet to stumble. Next-gen Blackwell processors and foreseeable increases in AI chip demand are likely to push this semiconductor stalwart to even mightier financial heights. Considering the quicksilver pace of AI technology adoption and Nvidia's undisputed role in it, the scenario plays out promisingly. Yes, Nvidia dazzles today, but it is its future trajectory that entices investors. Still, the market takes no prisoners, and the battle for the top market cap position will not easily retire to comfort. The numbers Nvidia posted in the previous quarter, an astonishing revenue spike of 122% paired with a 168% leap in earnings per share, are tiles on a walkway they must continue laying with precision. So where does that leave aspiring investors? With a question that demands reflection, are you ready to stake a claim in Nvidia's journey? Because as AI continues to weave into every fabric of industry and daily life, Nvidia stands as a central figure, unyielding and full of promise. And finally, if you would like to know what companies like Nvidia have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.